Friends, the recent publicity about the late Jimmy Savile has been obviously very upsetting and very striking. It's almost as if Jimmy Savile has taken on a sinister afterlife in which his presence still pervades the earth, but unfortunately in an entirely negative way. He lives on, but it's in a way that none of us would wish to live on. And it brings to mind a famous sentence from the Torah, the opening verse of one of the Torah's most famous narratives, the story of Noah and the flood. The Torah tells us, Eile toldot Noach. These are the generations, or these are the offspring, the children of Noah. But then, instead of giving us a list of Noah's descendants, his children, the Torah says something else entirely. Eile toldot Noach. These are the children, the descendants of Noah. Noach ish tzaddik. Noah was a righteous man. And the obvious question about that verse is how on earth it's a proper continuation of the opening phrase, these are the descendants of Noah. But there is here something very profound, I believe. And it was highlighted by the rabbis in one of the famous midrashic works, Bereshit Rabbah, Genesis Rabbah, and it's picked up on by our most famous Torah commentator of the medieval era, Rashi. The Midrash says, Eile toldot Noach, these are the generations of Noah, Ikar toldoteihem shel tzadikim, Maasim tovim. The key, the most important descendants of the righteous are their good deeds. We all try to achieve, those of us with children hope to achieve immortality, a measure of it at least, through them. But the truth is that that's unfair. We need to take responsibility ourselves for how we will be perceived after 120 years, as we say in Jewish tradition, of a lifespan. We need to be responsible for how we are remembered, for what impact we made. And therefore, according to this midrash, according to the story of Noah as interpreted by the rabbis, our real children are not the actual children that we may be blessed with, but our actions and our deeds on this earth. These are the children of Noah. Noah was a righteous man. His real descendants were the actions that he did for the good while in this world. And those are ultimately what he left behind and what could be ascribed fully to him and what were his responsibility. As a rabbi, I sometimes too glibly talk about what messages we need to pass on to our children and grandchildren. And of course, children and grandchildren and the conversation between the generations are absolutely central to Jewish life. But we all know that there are people who desperately desire children, and for one reason or another, life has worked out such that they have no children. To them, the prophet Isaiah, in a beautiful passage in chapter 56, reminds them and reminds us that the most important children that everyone leaves behind are their actions and their deeds. Al yomah hasaris heinani eitz yavesh. Isaiah says, let not the person who is unable to have children or for one reason or another has not had children in his or her life, let that person not say that they are less important, less precious in the eyes of God. God promises to give such people Yad Vashem, Tov mi banim u mi banot. If their actions are good, He will give them, He will make for them after their passing a glorious monument greater than sons and daughters. Their reputation, if they have done good in this world, will last and will give credit to their name in an even deeper way than the good deeds of children bring credit to their parents. A message for all of us, whether we are blessed with children and grandchildren or whether we aren't, that the real children we leave behind, like the real children of Noah, are the good actions, the compassionate actions, the help to others, the blessings that we have managed to bring during our years on this earth. Speak to you next time.